All right, let's look at Terry. Hey, what's going on, folks? I'm AutoMattock. I got a bald head. So we're gonna go over the Terry changes. And I thought initially that, well, let's just talk about Terry at first. I've kind of went back and forth about how good this character is. I've sort of settled on mid, but I like him. I like mid, you know, like I'm not cheating my way to victory. I'm doing mostly honest things. And I like using my brain. He reminds me a lot of Sagat in Street Fighter V, where he plays the game enough, but he doesn't quite steal it from you often. Though Terry in the corner is he's pretty devastating. He can do some pretty high damaging stuff. And he's got the meaty overhead. People have been asking me how do you do meaty overheads. I'll probably make a video on that pretty soon. But he wasn't nearly as good as the top characters. He can fight a lot of them, but they just did better stuff. So they made quite a few changes, and I think he's much better now. He seems like he's gonna be really good. So let's go over it. Terry has been given some adjustment to improve his attack proficiency at mid to close range. That would be his standing heavy punch pretty much. I think that's the biggest buff. Well, it seemed like his only good buff, but we'll get into that later. And to brush up some spots we felt were difficult to use. The aim is to make him easier to handle, as well as bringing out his personality a bit more, okay? Crouching medium punch. On punish counter, this could combo into crouching to a heavy power charge for big damage. But there were some ranges where it wouldn't connect, leading to drop combos. We've adjusted it. Oh, what? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Hold on. I don't believe that. So basically like this, they're saying it'll combo. At some ranges, they probably made it better. Yeah, I don't really, no. I didn't combo. Please note if the attack hits a hurt box that comes out in front of the main hurt box, it still may not connect for a combo. That's exactly what I just showed. Standing light kick and standing medium punch can now reach target easier. Stand light kick too? They buff stand light kick? Hey, y'all gotta keep this a secret, okay? Y'all know how they nerfed Cammy's down medium punch? And they nerfed Luke's down medium punch quite some time before. Terry got one of them too. Don't tell nobody, but he's got one of them down medium punches too. He might have one of the best down medium punches in the game. Shh, don't tell nobody though, okay? I'm trying to learn the ways of social media meta. Keep it on the low. Just complain about it, all right? We got this. Just take notes from Angry Bird, Phenom, and how they tweet and their insane takes. I love those guys, but shh, don't tell nobody. He's got a really good down medium punch. Okay, he's the worst Shoto. That's right. Terry's the worst Shoto. His mid-range is quite average. He has trouble. Just copy and paste. He has trouble anti-airing. You know, the anti-airs, they go under, they turn around, still go under. You know, he's bad. Yeah. Light power charge due to the reduced pushback on hit. With crouching medium punch, the attack hitbox on the first frame is reduced in order to not decrease situations where you're aiming to hit during active frames. So this is comboing off of light power charge. I think all this is saying is they sort of made it worse to fix the buff they did to down medium punch. I think that's what they're saying. I think it's something like, what was it? Like this. If they didn't do that adjustment, that probably wouldn't be +4, something like that. Because that down medium punch is going to create less push forward. So they're going to be closer to you. And if they're closer to you, you're less likely to get the meaty on the shoulder charge. So they had to make that adjustment so these combos connect. And that, honestly, that combo is not, you don't really do it that frequently. It's good though. Okay, medium power wave. These are one of the two moves. I think medium power wave and medium burn knuckle are two of Terry's sort of best key moves that you use. And the reason why medium power wave is so important is because when it counter hits, it knocks them down and you get a really good drive rush off of it, which also leads into the new buff. Thank you, Jedi Pie, for the prime. Appreciate you. Welcome to the world's baldest laboratory. Hope you're doing all right. So when this move counter hits, it knocks them down. This is not new. Plus 39, it's gonna have a range of knockdowns, right? This might be 40 or 44. And the reason why it's good is because if you're at this range, all you really got is heavy kick, and it needs the punish counter to get some good reward off of it. And if you whiff this button, you lose the game instantly. It's like one of those clips where you see KO screens. This movie is just massively whiff punishable, and you know how that goes. So your mid-range is functional, but not that impressive. As good as down medium kick is. But medium power wave is a good replacement, because once you get that knockdown, you can drive us in their face. Heavy punch. And that's gotten buffed too. So whatever they did to the hurt box ratio of power wave, it's gonna be a buff. It's gonna be harder to hit them probably. You have to really get into the weeds and see where the hurt boxes really are. But medium power wave, just in general, is really important to Terry's gameplay. It's quite good. It may help in zoning too, if you don't get hit by projectiles as easier, maybe. So, yep. Overdrive crack shoot. There were times when a follow-up attack wasn't always guaranteed when these attacks hit a mid-air opponent, so we've made adjustments to mitigate those situations. Now, there's actually a lot of time where you can do the second hit of power wave. You can delay it by a lot. And that would fix a lot of situations which were rare. It would fix those situations where it was hard to connect the full thing. Maybe they helped it so you don't gotta try that hard. Or maybe there's just some situations where it just hits where it normally wouldn't. Yeah, I haven't really seen a situation where you couldn't do the follow-up if you just delayed it. But maybe they made that easier. And I guess if you want to go a little bit further, if you delay the follow-up like this, they're gonna be much lower to the ground and you're not gonna be able to catch up to them. And I've never really done it in a match, but you can follow up if you do it early. You might have to have a juggle. Yeah. And I think you can do level 1 there, but this is debatable whether it's that good. I forgot if there's a good reason to do this. But you can combo off of it. So that's pretty much the summary. Standing heavy punch. This is a massive buff to Terry. It is a massive buff. It is +1 on block now. One of the things that was observed about Terry when he first came out was that he doesn't have a normal that's plus on block, which isn't 100% true. You got round wave, which is -25 when they perfect parry. I just made that number up. But this move is +5. It gets perfect parried in America. If you live in Japan, you can just do it apparently, right? Doesn't get perfect parried. But he does have a +5 round wave, and he's got meaty down medium punch, which is +1, but outside of throw range. And you can do that like this uppercut here, and then when they block, this is +1, and this situation is also buffed as well. +2, my bad. And then you can frame trap or walk up throw. But yeah, by default, he doesn't have plus frame normals. Except now he does. Stand heavy punch is now +1. Now this +1's kind of whack, but it is +1. You can do some weird stuff. I tested yesterday with like stand light punch, like this, or was it stand light kick and then light quick burn is -4. Usually this is -5, but it gives you the distance for it. There's some weird interactions that may or may not work out. We just got to see how people respond to it. Like for example, I think it's counter hit 4 maybe, but like this, if they don't. There's +1 into a 5 frame, so this would trade with a 4 frame. This stand light kick would trade, but if they don't do that, you get the punish counter, quick burn, like against Bison like this, and then you can actually combo down medium punch off of that. So this opens up a little bit. There's some new things you can do with that. We'll see how it works out. And then there's some weird stuff with standing and crouching. Like this is not that great. Maybe stand light kick you can do it. Nah, not really. It works on crouch, but not hit. But, you know, have fun. Just try it out. See if it works. This is just like the situation here. This is -5 and very hard to punish. But we'll see how it goes. It's probably not that great to do it in this way. I don't really like it too much. But that really isn't the best part about getting a +1 stand heavy punch. It's drive rush stand heavy punch. It's now +5. +5. When it used to be, 3? I think it was +3 before. This opens up a lot of possibilities. So now you can use down medium kick to frame trap. And I've always wanted to do this, but it was hard to like fit it in without, you know, not really frame trapping. But now you can do stand heavy punch. OD round wave or power wave, and then you can hit confirm level 2, and that will hit them if they're walking backwards. So that makes that part more legit. It makes more sense that way too. And also you can just kind of send the down heavy kick. You could do this before, but it just didn't frame trap. And now you know you used to do down light kick. This actually jails them now, so it's even harder for them to walk back. They can't even hit a button because they're just stuck. Hey, St. Cola, thanks for the tier 1. I appreciate you. Dang, 46 months. We'll go back to the world's strongest. So now you get this whole situation. Now, because of the heavy punch being more enhanced, more advantageous, it makes it a little bit more reasonable to start putting in the round wave, the plus on block, which, by the way, we'll talk about this later. This does more damage to their drive gauge. So let's say your opponent is a total boomer like me, and they just like to block, and they just, you know, want to not play Street Fighter 6. If you are doing something like this, you're just going to eat up their drive gauge. Like, it's gone. It's no longer existent. Because the heavy round wave does more damage to their drive gauge. So while there's gaps in between this, you have stronger frame traps that discourage your opponent from attacking. So they may be just looking for, perfect parry. And if you're in the mode of perfect parry, if your brain is thinking, I'm gonna look for round wave to perfect parry, because this has more advantage, it's even easier to walk up and throw them. So now that makes anticipatory perfect parry worse. You can actually frame trap people. So you're not in range to throw here, but it's +5. So you have enough time to walk up and throw them, even if they do a 4 frame. Does this stand like kick 4 frames? Yeah. So like this, you can walk up and throw them. But if you don't walk up, it shouldn't be in range. What? Okay, I guess it is. That's weird. But you still want to walk up, so you can be in range if they don't do something. And yep, you can do another stand heavy punch because it'll just frame. Oh, it'll trade. It'll actually trade, and you can combo off of the trade. So if you get a situation like this, trade +12. And you probably want to go into target combo. Most of the other stuff isn't in range. Boom. One hit a heavy punch is kind of whack, so I think you go for target combo. Is down medium punch in range? Let's find out. It is? This might be a Bison thing because he probably moves forward, but stand medium punch is probably in range as well. Lane switch. Rubes, I bet your turn signal is broken, man. Switching lanes all the time. Dad joke. Okay. I mean, that's probably it with heavy punch. It's just a really good normal now. It was already like the move that you would go to for drive gauge, for knockdowns. Doing this kind of thing, it actually improves what he used to do before. So now you can do 2 heavy punches and then medium round wave. Hey, look at the drive gauge exchange. So we're both gonna start off around 3 bars. I do mine like this, and I end up with almost a bar more than they have. So this is even better now. And it's +1. This is still +1. So that's really cool. Probably gonna be out of range for most things. But there might be some things you can do to extend from here, and that's about it. -5 still. It's all right. All right. Crouching medium punch. Reduced pushback on hit. So there's 2 things that I want to point out with this, and I posted them on X. So in the corner, down medium punch on hit would leave you out of range for down heavy punch. You could not even hit down heavy punch here. And it's not that big of a deal. You can just do another down medium punch if you did get a meaty down medium punch. But it kind of is in this specific situation where you get meaty down medium punch. This is +8 on regular hit, not counter hit. So now, if you confirm that, now down heavy punch connects. And you can do cool Terry stuff with it. Like this. EX power wave +9. You can do target combo. This is a bit too far away for anything else than target combo, at least from what I've seen. So now you can do this without counter hit. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And actually, you can use that to set up all kinds of stuff, right? You can go whap, 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 whap. And then the old meaty overhead. There you go. That's the setup. Nice setup, bro. Okay. Oh, and lane switch has been buffed as a result of down medium punch being buffed. So before, I actually mistakenly posted that same side lane switch is +3 now, and it's a buff, but it was always +3. But I thought it was +1 because you really got to use down light punch to frame trap off of it. Otherwise, you don't get a good combo off of it. That was really whack. So what happened was, if your opponent attacked right after the lane switch, if you did down medium punch, you were too far away to convert anything like as a link. But now because of the reduced pushback, you're gonna be in range for standing medium punch. Okay, so like this, they block it, down medium punch counter hits. And now that will be in range for standing middle punch. And this is good. There's also some new buffs here as well. And I posted this as well. So you can do bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. And now medium, I think that's new. Medium burn knuckle combos off of the round wave because round wave has less recovery. Woo! It's new? Cool. Crouching heavy kick updated so that the attack hitbox. This move still sucks. It needs to say updated so it has more reach and less recovery. This move sucks. Crouching heavy kick is terrible. It barely has more range than down medium kick. Like, just barely. It's probably one of the worst sweeps in the game. Probably. He's whack. Slow too. Okay. Power dunk has a sound effect on clean hit. If you don't know, there's a just 2 frames. There's 2 frames, I think, where you can do a stronger power dunk and it changes the knockdown advantage a little bit. It'll give you immediate overhead in the corner without a frame kill. But I usually don't go for it because it just fucks things up. 2350. 2350. There it is. 2490 plus 24 on the knockdown. So it gained 140 damage, which isn't nothing. And it went from 24 to 25. I lost 1 frame advantage. And I think that's still not the right timing for immediate overhead. So there may be even 2 knockdowns with this. That's it. Plus 23. So if you do want plus 23, which is how you get immediate overheads, you got to also time that correctly within the 2 frames that you can do power dunk. So it's not really a buff. It just lets you know if you did get one of them, but it's going to change the knockdown by 1 frame anyways. So it makes the results unpredictable at the benefit of increased damage. And if you're doing a longer combo, like usually you don't hit this combo like this. It's usually in like a juggle or some kind of hit confirm most of the time. So it's all right. That's cool. You'll know if you hit it better, I guess. It's all right. Woo. That's a lot of stuff. I'm probably going to miss a lot of things. Maybe not. But let's keep going. Her box expansion timing change from the 16th to the 18th frame. So that's just like, not until the 18th frame, he's probably not going to extend his hurt box, which means he's not going to be able to get hit like in front of him for a little bit. And I actually think his round waves, his power waves, I think that reduces hurt box a little bit or something. I think he does move backwards, or maybe he just shrinks a little bit. I do think he has that property just a little bit from what I've tested. So could make it even better. You might even use it in some pressure situations. Like maybe on block, something like this can be reasonable. Something like this. Maybe like right here. Turn this off. I don't know, I gotta lab this. And then when you're at this distance, you're less likely to get hit by a down medium kick. Something like that. So that's kind of cool. It's not gonna help you out with jump ins or anything like that. Now this round wave buff is really big. By reducing the recovery of round wave, which means that the move takes less total time, not the speed of it, but basically they shaved off some of the blue in the timeline here. It probably used to be 16. This is massive. Because you recover faster, you're probably going to be able to respond to DIs. That's like for probably the lower, like diamond and below. People who just mash on DI, you're probably more likely to recover and DI them back when you're doing this. If you're doing this in neutral, I don't know if you would do that or not. But what it really is when you juggle with it, you have more time to combo them. And for example, Now, medium power charge works because you're basically faster after recovering from this. And this leads into meaty down medium punch, just like we showed before. So that is opening up quite a few. It's going to do more damage and open up more opportunities. And you could even use it as a meaty overhead setup, right? Right? Is that right? I think it's right. I don't know why I barked. This should work, right? Yeah. And I think you can do double power, whatever this move's called. Buster Wolf. Cool. Pat still got you barking. So there's a lot of things you can do with that. I posted this also. I don't think it's very good, but it is new. I think it does more damage, right? You couldn't do this before. So now you can drive rush here and then do another one. Yep. And then it makes this better as well. I hope this works at a lot of ranges. So now this adds more damage and this knockdown's pretty good. Maybe there's more things you can do with it. It's pretty much all I can think of. Yep. That's a big. How big is that buff? Big. It also has more drive gauge damage on block. That's good. Nobody blocks it. They perfect parry it every time because everyone's elite. We have reached the highest level of Street Fighter 6 in mankind. In the history of mankind, nobody blocks this move. They mash or they perfect parry every time. I don't get it. And to me, only to me, I don't get it. Light power charge, we already went over that. Crack shoot has more drive gauge damage on block. It really don't matter too much. This move, in my opinion, is more for halting their drive gauge recovery. Like, you know, when it regenerates on its own like this, it starts to go up. Then you just hit it with... this move and it stops their drive gauge. And it does have a lot of range. This move isn't the easiest to perfect parry. So you can use this move in neutral just to stop their drive gauge recovery. And sometimes it hits. And just to briefly go over it, you can also use it in some pressure situations like down medium punch and then go over some low attacks. Get a hard knockdown. It's all right. It's okay for that. It's not the best. It's not the coolest. But it does that. So this is not that big of a buff, but it is a buff. Medium crack shot. Advantage on hit change from +1 to +3. Change behavior on a grounded counter hit. So it knocks them down. Cool. I think that's a nerf. I think. Same thing as light kick crack shoot has more. It actually is significantly more, right? This went up by 500. This went up by 1,000. So this will have more drive gauge damage to it. But it is pretty slow. The startup is 17 frames, but it hits on a later active frame. So this move is more like 20-something startup. So it starts to get in that territory where they might perfect parry you. Maybe even DI works. So medium crack shoot, not the best thing to do in neutral. But it works sometimes. It's not bad. It's good in burnout too. Oh yeah, burnout. Oh, I forgot to talk about burnout heavy punch. There's some cool things you can do with it. I don't think it changes a whole lot, but burnout now being +1 on block means it's regularly +5, which means it's +9 if you try pushing burnout. It's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous. Pretty much it. Drive gauge stuff with crack shoot. Reduce horizontal blowback on a mid-air hit. I think I also saw that you can do that after the round wave now. Like one of these, one of those, one of these, or one of these, and then one of those, and then you can do it here, right? What? Oh, yeah, you can do that. What kind of hit is this? Oh, it's not that good. What? Huh. You can get, oh, so this is probably if you want to go into level 3. That's all right. Overdrive, burning knuckle, change drive gauge reduction on block. So you get more chip out of it. So it's this move, excuse me, not OD quick burn. That move. So what did they say? Reduced blow back on a midair hit. So it has less. So that sounds like it would be a nerf. But it does more damage to their drive gauge. Now, this might take away a bar or something. Nearly a bar. Yep. And this is up to +3, I think. It's actually a lot. Let me turn off their behavior. Yeah, you can get this to +5. Don't tell nobody. Yeah, you still got to be pretty close to do it. Cool, so that about does it for Terry. He has a lot of buffs that don't seem like they're a whole lot. I mean, actually, they seem pretty significant just on their own. But when you put them together and you see the completion of all these buffs, this offense is going to be pretty good, man. He still has issues in mid-range, I think. And it's not to say he has bad mid-range. He just has average mid-range in a game where people have absurd mid-range. Even Jamie has stand medium kick and stand heavy kick that you can buffer off of. Terry don't got that. And that's why I think medium power wave and using burn knuckle at a good distance, that's how you replace the lack of having a strong mid-range rather than just the average one. So you still gotta get the hit with him, which is a little bit of a challenge. But he's gonna hurt a lot more and his pressure is gonna be a lot better because of drive rush, heavy pinch. Cool. So I'm gonna be playing a lot of these two characters. I guess today I'll play some ranked. I don't know how much more I want to go over with patch notes and stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching the video. Hit that like button. You freight trap that like button, please. Subscribe. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you learned something. I'm AutoMattock.